Week 11 of the college football season makes a stop in Des Moines. We've got two of the best non-scholarship programs in the country going head-to-head. Weather will certainly have an impact today in a game with playoff implications. It's Joe Woodley and the Drake Bulldogs and the surging St. Thomas Tommies. Welcome into the press box at Drake Stadium. My name is Michael Admire, along with Jeremy Gloston. Drake has won 23 out of its last 24 Pioneer Football League games. Meanwhile, St. Thomas has won its last 4 by an average score of 52-10. This is going to be a good game.
Oh, yeah, it is, man. These teams are about to come out here, and there's big implications for the playoffs here in this game.
The reason there are big implications is because of how tight the standings are in the Pioneer Football League. Drake at the top, St. Thomas lurking a couple games back, but a lot can happen in a couple weeks.
That it can, and St. Thomas, they have the great opportunity to come in and take Drake out and Presbyterian next week as well.
Yeah, Drake controls its own destiny. Let's take a look at the impact players for today's game. A couple of good quarterbacks. St. Thomas has a veteran. Drake has a true freshman, but they are both very efficient at throwing the football.
Yeah, they are. And, man, you got a guy for St. Thomas, Andy Peters. He's a senior this year, so this is his last shot to give it everything he got, and that's exactly what he's been doing. Over 1,700 yards, 17 touchdowns, 65% on completions, and he also has 6 touchdowns rushing as well. They're going to be looking at him to be a big impact in this game.
How about some of the defensive players? We got a couple really good linebackers in this one.
Oh, yeah, that we do. And, man, the DB, Garrison Cotty, man, he's absolutely amazing. 48 tackles, third on the team, has an interception, 2 forced fumbles, and a fumble recovery this year. They're going to be looking to him, especially in this wet game out here.
Weather certainly will play a factor. It is in the 30s and raining. It's nasty, but, gosh, it feels a little bit like football weather. We got a couple old-school style football teams that are going head-to-head. All right, the kick is up. It'll be Isaiah Bragg, and right away you see the impact that this weather might have as Bragg knees it down in the end zone.
Man, it's going to be a good game. Both these teams are going to have to be very disciplined today, especially with the weather that they have going on. And we actually came out to Drake's football practice, and one of the things that we saw them doing is spraying the football with water to get prepared for this game.
Let's dive into Gloston's goals.
Man, and one of my goals for St. Thomas is to come out here and make sure that they have great ball security. One of the biggest things is that they like to pass the ball, so receivers need to make sure that they come down with the pass and not give Drake's defense opportunity to come out with an interception. And for the defense, for the offense out here for Drake, man, they're going to have to be disciplined in what they're doing and be very meticulous, just the way the coach likes them to be.
No doubt about it. We get a chance to get a look at both true freshmen for Drake, Logan Inagawa, and at quarterback handing to Nick Herman, leading rusher for the Bulldogs, and he punches ahead for a couple of yards. Logan Inagawa, the third-string quarterback to begin this season, but thrust into the starting role, and gosh, he has been so good, completing 73% of his passes. And on second down, it's back to the ground. This time, Taj Hughes, a traditional carry for Taj Hughes. And he has another yard or two to bring up third down.
And that's one thing about this St. Thomas's defense is, man, they're absolutely amazing. But Inagawa, man, 8 touchdowns, 266 yards rushing, 986 yards passing. He's going to be a force to be reckoned with today, especially with the kind of weather that we got going on. But he has great pieces around him to get the job done.
St. Thomas not afraid to bring pressure with this odd defensive front. Inagawa to throw on third down, looking for his receiver, and he has one along the right side. It's Jackson Voth into Tommy's territory.
Woo! That's how you come out. And we were just talking about Inagawa and how amazing he is when it comes to throwing 75%. And you can see exactly why right here on this pass. Man, just outside the long stretched arms of the DB. And, man, what a catch by the receiver.
Bulldogs moving quickly. They hand to Luke Woodson. So in the first 4 plays of this game, 4 different Bulldogs have touched the football, and all 4 have held on to it well.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we've noticed here when it comes to Drake. They like to spread the ball out and make sure a lot of participants on this team get an opportunity with the rock in their hand.
2nd down and 7 for the Bulldogs, already into St. Thomas territory on this opening drive. Bulldogs can play out of the shotgun. They can go under center. We'll see what they'll do here in just a second after an early timeout. Head coach Joe Woodley is going to use his first timeout. And Jeremy, we got a chance to stop by Drake football practice earlier this week and watching them work. Late season, week 11, it's not as, full pad, blasting each other this time of season. You want to take care of each other, but it allows for them to work on some of those small things. And you saw offensive coordinator Kyle Kemp working with the quarterbacks, throwing water on the football. I mean, this is the time of year where the elements really start to play a factor.
Yeah, and for Drake, their biggest thing is to be able to get into the playoffs, and so that, like you said, the elements are definitely going to play a role. Not only the rain, the snow, the cold, and so just preparing them in every way possible. And you can tell that that's paid off so far here in the first quarter.
And that's Coach Woodley's style, making sure the team is disciplined in all areas, working on stance and start and quarterback center exchange. And now his team is facing a 2nd down and 7 from the 46-yard line. It's Inagawa and Herman in the backfield. Inagawa to throw again, has time, has a man along the sideline. On the far side, again, it is Jackson Voth. And in coverage, Din Jewett.
Man, and Caruso needs to go ahead and thank his offensive line because they gave him plenty of time there in the pocket, being able to get the ball out to the sideline, and the receiver was able to come down with a clutch catch.
St. Thomas, 2nd in the Pioneer Football League with 23 sacks. They really get after the quarterback, but Inagawa with a little time back there to find his hot target. Here's Nick Herman. Another burst for Herman, and a pickup of 12 on 1st down.
Man, and Herman, man, you can see the burst after he got that ball. It's absolutely amazing. Good job being able to read it, find a hole, and then, man, he burst out and is ready to give out some contact instead of taking it.
Yeah, freshman not afraid to use the burners and find that contact, and that more of the contact on that carry. Quick moving offense for Drake. Be 2nd down and 10. St. Thomas was there to cover the 2nd down or the 1st down carry by Herman.
I wouldn't be surprised if you see a quick pass here.
Both on the near side. Taj Hughes in motion. It goes to Herman again, right up the middle. Has a few yards on 1st down or 2nd down. Ryan Seaver, one of our impact players on the tackle, is 2nd in the Pioneer Football League with 87 tackles this year.
Yeah, and Seaver is a fantastic player. I like to watch his game. He's very aggressive down in the run, and then he'll also get back there and play some coverage as well.
Bulldogs facing 3rd down. Needs 6 for a first. Here comes some pressure. Inagawa rolling away from the pressure, and he's hit hard and brought down. Jordan Pendleton with the QB sack, his 6th of the season.
Man, hey, and that was a great job by Pendleton. You can see that he was over there spying on the quarterback. He saw that he had an opportunity to come and get it, and he brought that wood with him when he did.
It was right at the line of scrimmage, so we'll see which way that goes for the stats, but either way, it is a hold and a stop for St. Thomas with Drake driving into the red zone. Harry Balke on to kick. It's a high snap. Luke Woodson will pick it up. He's the running back on this team, and he's going to dive near a 1st down marker, and he is short. So a high snap by Brett Welsing. Luke Woodson pops up and catches it, but no points for Drake.
Yeah, and that's that fire drill right there that you practice throughout practice, because you never know when this situation happens. They tried it, but the defense was ready for it, and they were able to stop them on 4th down, giving the Tommies the football back.
So Drake with a couple big plays on the opening drive, but St. Thomas walks away with no points scored against them. And when we talked to Coach Glenn Caruso this week, he talked about, this is going to be one of those heavyweight fights. There are going to be some big swings on both sides. It's who can capitalize on the big swings, but then how the other teams also react to those moments.
Yeah, most definitely. And they big plays were something that he was very adamant about. And so here we go, and they were able to get a good stop there on that 4th down and just give their team an opportunity to play. They're 2-2 in this record against Drake, and it's been a heavy battle every single time they play.
Take a look at the quarterback for St. Thomas, Andy Peters. He is the all-time leading passer for the College of Idaho, all-time touchdown scorer at College of Idaho, but being an NAIA player, he was able to transfer to St. Thomas with one more year of college eligibility, and he has been good for this St. Thomas team. It allows them to do a lot on the offensive side of the ball. There'll be a 2nd down carry for Pat Bowen, and the Bulldogs are there on the stop, and it's Sean Allison. We have a couple really good linebackers in this game. We saw Seaver on the first drive. Here's Allison on this stop.
Man, and Allison just being able to go around the blocks, being able to locate the running back. And, man, what a tackle. That's one thing that you don't see people do very often anymore is wrap up. Everybody tries to lay a shoulder and lay a big hit, but being able to wrap up and secure that tackle is necessary. Now, they brought up a long 3rd down.
St. Thomas on the season, 39% on 3rd down. And they're facing one on this opening drive. Peters rolling out. Flips it into the middle of the field, and it is caught through traffic. An impressive catch by Eli Paulson. It had eyes for number 5.
Man, oh, man. That was quite the play. You see the rollout here. Couldn't find anybody. Threw it up for grabs and was able to find a man in the midst of 4 different Drake football players and was able to fit it in there. And then just the moves after the catch as well.
It looked like it was intended for number 4, Ja'Shawn Todd. Goes over his head, through a couple of blue jerseys, and right into the hands of Eli Paulson, and that is a big 3rd down pickup. See the legs of Peters once again. He's got a little Josh Allen vibes to him whenever you watch him on film. Coach Caruso said it reminded him a lot of Cade Sexauer, former St. Thomas quarterback that led them to a Pioneer Football League champion.
And I can definitely see the comparison with Josh Allen because he's an outstanding player, great arm, again, over 1,700 passing yards, 1,800 now with that last pass he just threw. But, man, he's just been an outstanding player, and you can see that he's not scared of contact. He's not scared to run with the ball when it's necessary.
5 touchdowns a week ago at Marist. A play action for Peters, and a nice throw and connection in the middle of the field with Ja'Shawn Todd. So that time it does go to Todd. Garrison Cotty in coverage.
Man, great throw. You see the play action there. Finding his receiver, just being able to zip it in there. Got away from the DB a little bit, the receiver did, and was just able to come down with a catch and secure it.
So Drake's opening drive goes deep into St. Thomas territory. A bad snap on the field goal attempt, and now St. Thomas is on the move. Here's Peters trying to get the edge, and he's chopped down by Cotty. Wilson also there for the Bulldogs.
Man, this Tommy football team, man, they have shown such electricity, being able to roll out the pocket, just showing the different versatility that they have, not only running with the running back, the quarterback, being able to get the ball out to the receivers as well. They're showing a lot of versatility early.
Only 6 minutes to go in this opening quarter at Drake Stadium. Fast-moving first quarter. Peters this time, traditional drop back pass, and tight along the sideline, and the refs are going to get together, intended for Quentin Cobb Butler.
Yeah, I believe they're going to give him the catch on that one.
It is. We'll get another look at it here along this near sideline.
Man, that's a tough angle right there to be able to see if he caught it or not. But this team they're electric, and you could tell he's not scared to throw the ball at all.
It's Bowen again, and he gets around the edge and some contact along the sideline. Cotty, the last one in there.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he didn't throw a flag on that one. He was bumped out of bounds. It was clearly out of bounds, but then Cotty came in at the last minute and gave him a little extra knock.
Carry for 3 yards, Pat Bowen Jr. His first season and last season with St. Thomas, a transfer from Long Island. Luke Schuler, the motion man, in that tight end position. Peters looking out wide again, and that one a little too tall for Cobb Butler. Kamani Wilson in coverage. That's that key island on the far side, number 2 in coverage for the Bulldogs.
Man, a good job by Wilson just being able to get out there in time to get that pass breakup. One of the hardest routes for a DB is those out routes or anything to the outside. But that's also a very long throw for the quarterback as well. So they gave him a little extra time to get over there and get that pass broken up.
3rd down and 7 for St. Thomas. It's Peters and Bowen in the backfield. Peters rolling out. He is pressured, gets rid of it. And again, it is caught in traffic. Quentin Cobb Butler, the sophomore from Woodbury, Minnesota.
Man.
Coach Caruso said he's more than a speed guy.
Yeah.
That's a possession receiver right there.
Man, and you can see right there just the natural hands, being able to come down with that ball. It's wet out here. Not only that, you got extra contact coming at the hip. So be able to catch that and bring it down. Man, what a catch by him.
St. Thomas knocking on the door here in their opening drive. Handoff goes to Bowen. And pushing forward and then shoved back 1 yard. It's a short loss. J.R. Flood in the mix. Gene Blaylock also there. Benjamin Wilson will be credited with the official tackle.
Man, and good job by this defensive line, just being able to stand their ground during these run plays and making it tough for them to get that run game going.
It's 2nd and goal. Ball spotted about the 7.5-yard line. Peters under center. You got a jumbo formation. It will be Bowen again. And again, the Bulldogs are right there.
Man, this Drake defense is definitely stepping up here in the red zone, not letting out much of anything for the Tommies.
Sean Allison with another big tackle for the Bulldogs. And here comes another 3rd down. St. Thomas already 2 for 2 on this drive. This one 3rd and goal. Play action, Peters rolls to his right, looks to his left, and his pass is short of Patrick Wagner, incomplete. It'll be 4th down and goal.
Yeah, and I think that was the best thing to happen for him, because if that ball would have got out there, I think it would have been going the other way for 6. Yeah, both of these defenses, they've shown great potential, especially in this red zone. They have that bend but don't break mentality, and that's what you want to see out of your defense.
It'll be Ben Hoyland, the sophomore from North Oaks, Minnesota, to attempt this field goal. He's 5 of 7 this season on field goal attempts. And it's a fake. Giovanelli will take it in for a touchdown. Stefano Giovanelli.
Man, a great time to call that right there. Man, with it being wet and things like that, they're looking to go get a block. They think there might be a little mishap with the snap. But they said, we're not even worry about that. We're just going to take it in ourselves.
It's the 3rd touchdown of the season for the sophomore. He's a wide receiver, has good hands. So obviously that's why he's the holder, but adds a little athleticism into the mix. And a big play call goes St. Thomas's way, and the Tommies are the first to score. Hoyland back out there. Good snap, good hold, and the extra point is good. 7-0 Tommies, a 14-play, 85-yard drive. It took up 7 minutes, 7-zip, St. Thomas. 7-0 St. Thomas. Third time in 3 games, the Tommies have marched down on their opening drive and come away with points. And that last drive took up 7 full minutes.
Yeah, that was a great offensive sequence there by the Tommies.
Ball's teed up. A short kick that takes a hop into the hands of Isaiah Bragg. Bragg starts right, pushes his way to the 23.5 yard line, and that's where Drake will take over for the second time on this afternoon, down 7 points. St. Thomas head coach Glenn Caruso taking a look at the iPad here, and he's got to like what he just saw on that last drive. Not afraid to gamble a little bit, is he?
That he's not. That he's not. They like the trickery. They like to come out in different crazy formations to make you think as a defense and see how well you react.
Drake's opening drive ended in a miscue on the short field goal attempt. Came away with no points. And here is Inagawa on the carry, and all sorts of white jerseys pushing him back.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see as a defensive coordinator. You want to see all 11 hats to that ball. And you try to see a QB draw here. Didn't work, and they were just able to corral him and get him down for a short game.
Seaver, the first one there for St. Thomas. Caden Nelson also in there. Second down and long for Drake. We got a couple tight ends shifting to the left side. Inagawa to throw, and again going down the right side. He has Bragg along the sideline, and again Drake quickly into St. Thomas territory.
Woo-wee. Man, the play action, and then just giving them time in the pocket to be able to get that ball off. And you can see why he has a 75% completion rate, because that ball was on the money. He could have ran with his eyes closed, and it would have fell right in.
How about Isaiah Bragg? His second catch of the season, started the year on the defensive side of the ball, shifts over to offense the last few games, and has a couple big catches for the Bulldogs. Inagawa on the carry. He bounces it outside. He has space. It'll be a sprint to the end zone, and he makes a late dive, waiting for the call, and he is out at the 1 yard line.
Man, and great play call by the coach, and even better fake there by the quarterback. Man, and then just showing off the wheels. If it wasn't for 29 for St. Thomas, man, he would have been looking at 6.
Nick Hand chased him down, but Drake, 2 big plays in a row. The pass from Inagawa to Bragg for 37 yards, and then Inagawa picks up another 37 and will bounce to the right side. It looked like he had a window for a moment, but that closed up quickly.
Man, and that's one of the big things that Coach Caruso was talking about over our conference call earlier this week, is the fact that they need to eliminate big plays, and then how they're going to respond when those big plays happen. And that deep throw led to the long run, and so now they need to knuckle up and be able to stop them here in this red zone.
Drake does not have to run a play here before the end of the first quarter. Ball at the 2 yard line, so 2 plays of exactly 37 yards. Inagawa with his arm and then his legs, and he has Drake set up at the 2 yard line. Rain still coming down here at Drake Stadium as we begin the second quarter. St. Thomas leading Drake 7-0. 225 combined total yards of offense in the first quarter, so the rain not slowing down these offenses. And it's Inagawa and the Bulldogs, second down and goal from the 2-yard line. Inagawa bounces it outside and takes it himself. Rushing touchdown number 6 for the true freshman, and a big answer for the Bulldogs.
Man, hey, and the coaches, again, they love to run the ball, especially with the big, stronger line that they have. But Inagawa, just the speed to be able to bounce on it and be able to just to get around the corner and just run it into the end zone. That was an amazing play there by him.
Good blocking up front, including by number 20, Luke Woodson, and now Woodson into hold. Harry Bulkey's extra point is good, and we are tied at 7. Low possession first half to this point. We're all square between Drake and St. Thomas. After punching in the Bulldogs' first touchdown, Logan Inagawa all bundled up on the sideline there. An impressive 5-play, 77-yard drive.
Yeah, you got to keep that arm warm, so he's doing the right thing, staying bundled up out here. But, man, he's just been absolutely electric, 100% so far, hasn't missed a pass, and he's looking really good. Both quarterbacks are.
Yeah, 3 for 3. Griffin Kohlhoff with the kickoff. On the return, Jayshon Todd, and Todd is ripped down at the 21-yard line. Carson Kindred on the tackle.
Man, great job by Kendrick, just being able to get up there, stay in his lane, just stay on it until he was able to get him down. Man, special teams is a huge factor in any football game, and so that was big by him, giving his defense an opportunity to start this play in good field position for defense.
Well, we're talking about some of the X factors, what will make a big impact in this game. The rain hasn't seemed to bother either of these teams too much. Both quarterbacks throwing the ball very well.
Yeah, that they are. You wouldn't even know it's raining by the way that they're playing out here today, and they've both been very effective, smart, being good with the football, as you can see here.
Peters trying to get away from Sean Allison, and he can't. What a play by the Pioneer Football League's leader in tackles.
Man, and Sean Allison just being able to come up, get off a tackle, and just being able to come and do those kind of plays. That's amazing by the linebacker there, and they have a great defense here for the Drake Bulldogs.
Yeah, we thought we'd see some good linebacker play today, and especially the rain. It kind of muddies this game up a little bit. But Allison and Seaver have been fantastic on the other side. Offenses have had plenty of answers, though. Here's a handoff off the left side. And it's a short gain for Gabe Abel. Abel's only played 3 games this year, kind of a stable type running back for St. Thomas over the past few years.
And Gable at 5'8", and he's more of a scat back kind of guy. You can see the shiftiness there on that last run.
All right, so here it is, another big third down. St. Thomas 2 for 3 on third downs. Peters looking left, his pass is high and reeled in along the sideline. Another big pass and big catch. Eli Paulson, again, the receiver on third down.
Man, the quarterback just putting the ball where only his receiver can catch it, being able to go up there with 2 hands and come down with 2 feet in bounds. Man, that was a fantastic play.
Hey, what do you think about the no gloves?
Man, hey,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I say with the gloves, especially in this rain, they ain't no good.
Let's talk coming from a cornerback, though, who it didn't matter if he had gloves or no gloves.
They do say DBs are receivers who can't catch.
All right, it's Abel again off the left side. Another good pass. The rain has started to pick up here in this second quarter. Another great pass along the sideline. Good hands. Tiptoeing by Paulson.
And that's great for these guys out here, not only for the ones trying to make it to the league, but for the ones that are trying to play on a little bit of a bigger scale, those Power 5 teams. So being able to come out here with this heavy rain and show that you're still able to dominate, that's good film to put out.
Peters brings a tight end in motion. It's a play action pass. He's trying to set up the screen. And Sean Allison, the first one there to slow down Wagner, but Wagner breaks that tackle and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they tried to do a bit of a tight end screen here. The quarterback was able to get out, but man, what a stiff arm right there just to get him off of him and be able to gain a couple yards to make this more manageable third down.
Yeah, officially a gain of 2. It's 3rd down and 6. And I'm not a weather person, but we might be getting a little extra something in the precipitation falling down here. Maybe a little snow mixed into this one in this early November football game between two great football teams. Here's Peters rolling out, and he misses his target. And the Bulldogs get a stop on 3rd down as the rain and it looks like a little snow mixing in here.
Yeah, and for myself, I'm a Florida native, so this is cold and this snow is not for me. I'm glad I'm in the booth. But for these guys out here, man, they're still playing hard. You wouldn't even know that it was raining or even that it's cold out here the way that these people are playing today.
All right, so it is 4th down. Elliott Hitter is on to punt for St. Thomas. Jackson Voth back for the Bulldogs. Good snap. Here's a line drive spiraling punt to Voth. Voth will return it, and he is spun down right where he caught it. Great coverage. Cody Stordal, the first one there.
Man, and Stordal just being able to run up there as the gunner and be able to make that tackle in the open field. That's one of the hardest things to do.
Game tied at 7. Drake has a possession when we get back. A little wintry mix has moved its way into Des Moines, and there's a shot of the sideline, how the Bulldogs huddled up. It is the 3rd possession for Drake. Nick Herman showing off his balance, spinning ahead for a nice gain on 1st down.
And man, what a run there by Herman. And like you said, just the balance that he has, breaking off the tackles, being able to stay and roll off of that one leg. And that's one thing that they do work on in practice, is being able to be stable and have balance even when you're unbalanced.
2nd down and short for the Bulldogs. It's Inagawa on the quick hitter to Taj Hughes, and Hughes catches, but immediately blown up by Joseph Obeto.
Man, Obeto, oh boy, what the way he just ran through the block and was still able to come and get that tackle, man, that's something that'll put you out there on Sundays. And you can tell he's still hyped about it, and he's ready to play football out here. And I love that, especially out of a corner, because corners get a bad rap for not wanting to tackle.
3rd down and long now for Drake. They're set up in a pretty good spot. It's Inagawa. He is pressured and sacked. Brought down. The pressure comes from Charlie Boucher. And St. Thomas, they're known for getting after the quarterback, and they do it right there.
Man, yeah, you just see that twist there by 20, just being able to wrap around and come between the center and the tackle and be able to get a sack for the defense. And great job by the defensive backs, just taking away all the options, making them have to hold it a little bit longer.
So the Bulldogs got ahead of schedule on 1st down, set up 2nd down and 2, and then all they did was get pushed back by this stymie St. Thomas defense. Ryan Schrader on the punt. Pressure comes, and a winding kick gets into St. Thomas's side of the field, but good field position for the Tommies.
Yeah, and I think the pressure from that the punt return definitely helped add to that bad kick there. And, man, that's something that we got to watch out for as this game goes along, because they were very close on that last one to getting the block punt.
There's a shot down the sideline of Coach Woodley. He was talking to the refereeing crew about potential running into the kicker, and no call. And this is where St. Thomas starts with the football at the 49-yard line. Peters with the handoff to Pat Bowen Jr. A nice sprint forward by Pat Bowen. He's tackled by Garrison Cotty. Short of the first down, but a good pickup.
Man, and good play call there. Great execution. Just being able to come out, that dive play, and then just being able to have the awareness in the eyes to be able to find the hole, bounce around, be patient until it opens up and be able to burst through.
And now Peters with an empty backfield, claps his hands, and now he's got a bunch formation with a couple tight ends there. Peters will keep it himself off the right side. It's around the edge. Cotty forced him out wide, but another good gain by Peters using his legs, and the quarterbacks are the leading rushers for both teams today.
And I believe you compared Peters to Josh Allen earlier at the beginning of the game, and you can definitely see it right there. Just the ability to come up, show off that burst, and be able to get that first down. He doesn't run timid. He runs like he should be back there, running back.
First down and 10. Another screen set up, and Garrison Cotty is there.
And we talked about Cotty earlier in the game about how he has a nose for the ball, and you can see it right there. Just being able to come up and get a stop, making this a long second down. Man, Cotty is a guy to watch.
It's a third catch. We'll call it the fourth catch of the game for Quentin Cobb Butler, but that one puts St. Thomas behind the chains. Peters looking left, and it's Cobb Butler again along the sideline. Nice throw and catch.
Looked like there was a little bit of a miscommunication there on that zone. The quarterback was able just to find the open man and give him the ball, and he has a rocket forearm. I like watching him throw. He throws with such a fluid motion. He doesn't seem too tight. The ball's not getting back too far, and he's just getting it out quickly.
And that was a great angle of that throw. I mean, a tight spiral in this weather. Both quarterbacks really showing off their ability to throw the football. Third down and 2. Peters again will keep it himself, right side, and he's right at the marker. Benjamin Wilson makes the tackle, and I think it's going to be a fourth down.
Yeah, man. Fantastic job there by Benjamin, just being able to come up, get in the right angle, and wrapping up, making sure the quarterback went down. Man, good play call there on the defense.
This has got to be automatic go-for-it territory. St. Thomas 50% on fourth down conversions this season. Meanwhile, Drake defense has only allowed 2 of 13 on fourth down attempts. Peters and Abel. Peters going to his right, finds the space, and he's going to take it inside the 10-yard line. That's that Josh Allen look there where he just hesitates, and goes, and it's a first down for St. Thomas.
Yeah, and it got all set up by the formation, being able to spread out that defense, unload that box a little bit more, and then just giving him an opportunity to run that ball, and that's exactly what the O-line did, opening that hole just like it was the Red Sea.
Big first down for St. Thomas, and it's first down and goal at the 10-yard line. Peters play action, flushed from the pocket, throws back across the middle, and at the last second knocked away by Cotty, back of the end zone. Looking for Quentin Cobb Butler, who's been the main target for Peters today.
Man, and it was a great play call, great execution. The receiver just has to be able to come down with that ball. They've been doing so well on the run. It allowed those DBs and the linebackers to step up for half a second, just allowing a little bit more space for those receivers to get open.
All right, if he was wearing gloves that time, do you think he would have pulled that one in?
Nah, not in the rain. Gloves don't do you no good.
That was
in the rain.
defense. That was the defense. Right. All right, Peters with a handoff to Jayshon Todd. A couple yards. Be 3rd down and goal.
And again, we talked about that earlier in the game, is that they have a bend but don't break type of play style here on their defense. And right now you can see that they aren't willing to break. They've been coming up and stuffing these runs, playing tight defense on the passing plays as well. Man, they've been doing a great job down here in this red zone.
3rd down and goal. Peters to throw, pressured, gets rid of it, and it is caught but out of bounds. Great coverage again by Garrison Cotty. The pressure hurried that one as well.
Yeah, it did, and they're going to go back and look at the film. He had a guy open there in the flats doing a little bit of a whip route that I believe that he should have hit, and that could have got them 6. But that still was a great ball, just not to be able to come down with it inbounds.
Now Paulson jogging across the field, a little shaken up, and you can see at the bottom right part of your screen, Peters also coming off the field, so that means the field goal unit has shifted on. And the last time, kind of in this position, St. Thomas set up for a field goal. They faked it with their wide receiver, Stefano Giovanelli, who's also the holder, and he took it into the end zone.
Yeah, you see a couple more extra guys standing up this time. They said, fool me once, shame on you, but you're not going to fool me twice.
And Hoyland's kick is good. Looking at the Drake Bulldogs sideline, they were all waving no good, but refereeing crew here puts their hands in the air, and St. Thomas pushes in front 10-7. And it looks nasty out there on TV. It looks nasty through the window, and you see this extra point, extra point distance field goal, and St. Thomas has taken a 10-7 lead, but not a lot of possessions in this game, but both offenses really executing and defenses not giving up that big scoring touchdown play.
Yep, and not only on offense, they have been doing a great job, and you can see the water right here on the lens, and it's covered and everything, but this rain has been playing a big factor out here today. But both teams have come out to play. They've been playing hard, executing, and I love this kind of football, especially in this inclement kind of weather, because that shows what kind of discipline you have, and it also shows you how great of an athlete you can be no matter the circumstances.
A shout out to our Drake University students for weathering some of these elements today. Kind of a nasty weather day, but they're out there taking care of business. It'll be Jake Metzi on the return, and nice little spurt along the left sideline, and puts Drake in a good spot to begin this drive with 3:48 to play in the first half.
Man, and that was a good kickoff return there, putting his offense in a good position to get down the field, a little bit of a shorter field to have to go through. And that's one thing that for special teams you harp on. If you're going to return it, you at least got to give me an extra first down. And so that's what he did on that one.
As we continue to give you weather updates along this afternoon, the rain has really shifted into a wet snow, and adding to this awesome matchup, this awesome game that we have between two of the best in the Pioneer Football League, and handoff on first down goes nowhere for Drake.
Man, and great push there by the defensive line, just not allowing the offensive line to move them where they're at, and the linebackers being able to step up and start to fill up those other gaps.
It was Herman on the carry for Drake. Bulldogs leading rusher this season as a true freshman. Second down and long. Inagawa to throw. He's flushed from the pocket, and he will tuck it and go, and a big collision. Seaver with the tackle. Also colliding Javi Blomqvist.
Man, and Inagawa, he's just a smart player, makes really good decisions. He could have tried to throw it and see if somebody will come down with it, but instead he pulled it and took as many yards as he can just to make this a more manageable third down, giving them only 5 yards to go instead of 10.
Inagawa connects with Voth across the middle. Inagawa 5 for 5 in this first half, and Voth slow to get up at midfield.
It looks like he might have rolled an ankle a little bit there. Hopefully he can get that blood flowing and be able to get back on the field, because he's very pivotal here for their offense.
That is Drake's leading receiver on the season and on the game, making his way towards the sideline. So that is something for everyone to keep an eye on.
And he made a very, very clutch catch on that last play. The ball was a little bit high, but he was able to grab it and come down.
It is the 2-minute timeout. St. Thomas leads 10-7. Bulldogs have the football at midfield. Minnesota natives, they are holding strong here in this nasty weather. St. Thomas leads 10-7.
Yep, first down with 2 minutes left to go. Each team has a couple of timeouts left on them. And so now they're going to have to be meticulous and smart with the way that they go about this drive, but they have plenty of time to get down the field.
It is first down and 10. Inagawa stepping up in the pocket. Tries to get away from one Tommy, and he is swarmed again. St. Thomas putting pressure on this drive on Inagawa, and they peel off, and you can see Evan Tyler.
Yep, and that's what we call a coverage stack right there. The defensive backs, man, they were locking down the receivers and just gave their defensive line time to be able to crash down and get to the quarterback for a sack.
Tyler and Sneed in there for St. Thomas with this odd front, 3 up front. They'll walk up a couple linebackers at times, only 2 players with their hands in the ground there, as you can see it. But they do get pressure on the quarterback. Here's Inagawa again stepping up as that pressure comes, and he is hit and brought down again. This time it's a short gain for Inagawa. Charlie Boucher with the tackle.
Man, he was looking real Bobby Boucher-ish on that one. Man, see ball, go get ball. Just being able to get around the blockers and get to the quarterback. Man, this defense is stepping up right now. They understand that they get the ball back going into that second half, and so they're trying to make sure that they don't score and give their team an opportunity to have the lead going into halftime.
Seconds winding down here, only 35 seconds to go in the first half. Inagawa again pressured. He will step back, rolling to his right, looks downfield, and will tuck it and collides with a defender as he dives forward. Nash Ticky on the tackle, and it's near the first down marker, 16 seconds to play.
Yep,
and Drake's going to call timeout.
The coaches have a decision to make here. 4th and 1. You got 16 seconds left. You can try a QB sneak, go for it, get the first down, call a timeout, and then still have time to run a couple more plays. But if they don't get it on this one, then now you put the Tommies in great field position to be able to get a couple first downs and be able to have time to kick a field goal.
16 seconds remain. Bulldogs burn their second timeout. Figure out what they want to do here. As a look at head coach Joe Woodley. Bulldogs have won 23 out of their last 24 in the Pioneer Football League in his first season at Drake, 5-0. Offense is out there.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see what their play call is going to be on this one. Do they try to gut it up the middle, or do they get their receivers involved and get them the ball?
And here comes your chess match. Glenn Caruso on the other side calls a timeout. Bulldogs are 8 for 9 on 4th downs this season. Oftentimes you look to Luke Woodson, who is an automatic 3 every single time. What do you think Coach Caruso is looking at as he sees that offensive formation out of Drake.
And yeah, when he sees that formation, there's different kind of things that you can do out of that. You can run short routes across the middle and just open that up, a couple crossing routes. Or what you can do, you got a lot of big bodies up there in that 11 personnel that they were in, and just be able to push them out the way and be able to get a yard, because you only need 1.5.
So the offense stays out there for the Bulldogs. 4th down and 1 in St. Thomas territory. Bragg in motion. Inagawa to throw, and he flips it to Taj Hughes. Hughes with a catch, has some room along the sideline, steps along the sideline. He's hit out of bounds, and no flag. That would have put the Bulldogs in a really, really good spot, an extra 15 yards, but it is a first down. The Bulldogs 9 for 10 on 4th downs this year.
Man, hey, great play, great execution there. Be able to get the ball out to his receiver. Receiver's able to make a few moves and get out of bounds. That's the most crucial part in this right here, is to get out of bounds, because now you save you an extra timeout.
11 seconds on the clock. Woodson with the carry straight forward, and a quick timeout by Coach Joe Woodley. And Drake, with 2 seconds to play in this first half, will get a chance to tie it.
Man, this has been a great football game. I've enjoyed it so far. You've had great offensive plays, great defensive plays, and it's just been a battle so far out here today. And for any kind of fan, these are the kind of games that you want to see.
Yeah, no real edge one way or the other, or one side of the ball or other. Both teams executing and taking care of the football. The real lone mistake was the high snap on Drake's opening drive, where they came away with no points.
Yeah, and that play right there might actually be the deciding factor if these two teams keep going at it the way that they are.
So it's Harry Balke, a 35-yard field goal attempt. He's 11 for 13 on the season, but hasn't kicked in weather like this year. The timeout by Coach Caruso to let the San Diego native think about it a little longer.
Man, and you said San Diego native?
Oh, yeah.
I know he's feeling it out here right now.
Yeah, Balke earlier this season at San Diego kicked the game-winning field goal in almost perfect conditions, a little breezy on that Saturday back in October, but has another opportunity here. Played most of his college ball in the Midwest, so not too unfamiliar with this.
Yeah, because this is, depending on where you're from, this can definitely be a shocker to you when you start to play these games in this kind of weather.
It'll be spotted by Luke Woodson at the 35. Snap is good, hold is good, the kick is up, and it is money. What a kick to end the first half. And after 2 good quarters of football between these 2 consistent programs, here we are, all squared at 10 apiece. We'll have the halftime show from Drake Stadium on the other side. It's the scene in Des Moines, Iowa. Foliage in the background, a wintry mix in the foreground, and it is making for quite the football game. 10-10 between Drake and St. Thomas at the midway point. At this time, we welcome you into the warm and cozy press box at Drake Stadium. Michael Admire, along with 4th-year head coach of the Drake men's soccer team, Pat Flynn. And Pat Flynn and his Bulldogs punched their ticket into the Missouri Valley Conference tournament and earned the first conference championship in program history a couple nights ago in a come-from-behind win over Bradley 4-2. Let's go just to that moment of winning the championship after a long season of ups and downs, and you all are one of the teams holding up that championship banner at the end of the year. What did that mean to you all and to the program?
I mean, I felt relief more than anything, just because the game on Wednesday was such a roller coaster. We were down 2-0, and relief in a sense that it was like a year in the making. We had the same opportunity last year. We hosted a final regular season game against Missouri State. Had we won it, we would have, that team would have been the first conference champions in program history. So it just felt like a season where the goal like really defined itself. Based on how close we were last year. And you never know how the season's going to play out. And we've had some key injuries and a spell during the season where we were struggling to score goals. So we were tying games instead of winning games. But you just got to kind of play through the last whistle. We went into the game knowing that if we took care of business, there's so much parity in the league. And with Evansville being at Belmont, which is it's a good team. It's an experienced team that does exceptional at home. We just thought if we took care of business, we'd have a pretty good shot at sharing the conference championship. So, I was relieved and obviously elated for the guys and proud of them, but also focused on the next challenge, which is next Wednesday.
Yeah, your semifinal match will be on ESPN Plus Wednesday at 6 o'clock at MediaCom Stadium, so just a couple doors down here on Forest Avenue in the middle of Des Moines. You talked about the injuries. You guys suffered a couple defensive kind of injuries early on in the season. Late in the year, two of your top goal scorers come up with injuries, but you still find yourself as the 2 seed in the tournament. You're regular season champions. What does that tell you about your group of guys?
We've never been about one player or a small group of players. It's a collective. It's about our culture. Next man up, something that I think all teams say, but we really try and adhere to that. And it started, at the beginning of the year. I've almost felt like I jinxed it. Our captain, Ryder Barrett, had started every single game over his first 3 years, and I kind of noticed that after last season, so I thought it was a cool stat and kept kind of referencing it. And then he had a really bad ankle sprain about a week before the season started, so that kind of started it, and in a weird way, it was probably maybe the best thing that could happen to the group, because it's inevitable with how congested a college soccer season is that you're going to suffer some injuries. So for us to start the season without our captain and finding other solutions, and it kind of helps build it's one thing to have depth in terms of players that are on the roster, but to really have reliable depth that can come through in the moment, like they have to get match experience. So we survived Ryder's injury. Then Eskil, a really important player to our team in midfield, probably missed a half dozen games. And unfortunately, Jackson Kirsch did his ACL. So surviving Ryder's injury and kind of really emphasizing the next man up mentality and the fact that we're not about one individual is just kind of carried us, in all honesty.
You all, Missouri Valley Conference champions, the women's soccer program regular season Missouri Valley Conference champions. The football team, back-to-back PFL champions. Men's basketball, 3-time Missouri Valley Conference tournament champions. 2 out of the last 3 championships for women's basketball. The list goes on and on. Volleyball always in the mix. They're still in a fight for second place. What I'm getting at is there's a winning culture at Drake. How has success of other programs lifted the entire department?
I remember my second year where we didn't have much success. I think we tied for last place in the MVC. The department as a whole won the All Sports Trophy, and I just remember feeling like I had nothing to do with it, and not wanting to be in that position. So there's just kind of that, not internal competition, but you're motivated by those around you. You share ideas with those people around you. Success breeds success. Within your own program, the goal is always to have success and then build on it and establish new goals and loftier goals. And I think with the culture that, Brian Harden has created here at Drake, everybody wants to, you don't want to be where we were after that year where everybody else was, lifting trophies and we weren't. So, and specific to the women's program, it's such an intimate relationship we have with them. We share an office with them. They root for us. We root for them. So it was sad to see their season end, but it's pretty cool that both teams are having the success they're having right now.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Obviously makes our job fun broadcasting these games and sharing your all's story. And Pat, can't thank you enough for your time here today. If you've never gotten a chance to check out a game at Mediacom Stadium, Wednesday is the perfect opportunity. I promise better weather than what we're seeing here today. It's 10-10 Drake St. Thomas at halftime. You're watching the Pioneer Football League on ESPN+. Des Moines, game between Drake and St. Thomas, all square at 10 apiece. Take a look at the first half highlights, and only 7 total possessions, low possession game, but the quarterbacks have been looking good to this point.
Man, and there's been a lot of different things going on, a couple of miscues, as you can see here on that botched field goal, long throws, great catches, just it's been a fantastic game to watch.
Yeah, it's been really impressive watching these quarterbacks execute through this rain, and maybe a couple miscues, and the difference in this one is those early field goal attempts. Drake fumbled the snap, a little high snap. Meanwhile, St. Thomas faked their field goal attempt and scored a touchdown. And then Logan Inagawa, 6 of 6 in the first half with his arm and also doing it with his legs.
Yeah, and man, Inagawa's been absolutely outstanding out here today. 100% passing so far, has made great decisions. But the man right across from him has been doing a fantastic job too. They both put up great numbers. As you can see here, both teams have been pretty evenly matched. 93 for both rushing and passing for Drake, 64 rushing for St. Thomas, 80 passing for St. Thomas. And again, 7 first downs even. It's been a very even game. You can see why the score is the way it is. Both defenses have came out here and have been playing outstandingly. They've had that bend but don't break mentality. The other team may get some yards, but they're not getting in the end zone.
We had a great first 30 minutes of football, expecting the same here in the second half as the weather has gone from cold and rainy to a full-on whiteout almost, snowing here in central Iowa as winter shows up for the weekend.
Yeah, and this is just getting them prepared for that playoff weather when they get there. Both teams have a great opportunity to go out and represent for this league, and that's what they're fighting for here today.
You saw that score with Presbyterian losing late in the second quarter. St. Thomas, they don't control their own destiny to a PFL championship, but they playing Drake here right now and then play Presbyterian next week. They could really put themselves in a good position, depending on tiebreakers, to make their first ever FCS playoff appearance. Meanwhile, Drake controls its own destiny into the FCS playoffs. St. Thomas won the toss, deferred to the second half, and here is this second half return, and it's Pat Bowen Jr., the up back and starting running back on the return, but great coverage out of the Bulldogs. And Andy Peters and this St. Thomas Tommies offense will take over. Peters also doing it both with his arm and his legs. 8 of 13, 80 yards in the first half. 7 carries, 39 yards, leading the Tommies rushing attack.
Yeah, and I've been very impressed with this Tommy offense. They've been pretty balanced, but the quarterbacks have just been throwing dimes out here today and getting it to the receiver. A lot of people thought that this weather would kind of alter the way that they go about their play calling, but they have not shown any inkling of that.
Both teams with multiple long sustaining drives. Here's a handoff on an end around to Jayshon Todd, and great play out wide. Incredible tackle by Tommy Williams, shedding the blocker, and it is no gain on first down.
Man, hey, the way Tommy just came up and took control and came up and got that tackle, that was great, because on that end around, he should have been able to get around. If he would have turned it up a little bit farther, he might have ran for a lot more yards on that round. But because the defensive back was able to help him stretch it out, he was able to get a tackle for loss.
It's second down and 10, and a handoff to Bowen. And Bowen has a couple yards, but This Drake defense comes through with a nice tackle again. Short gain.
Man, and Drake's defense is looking good right now so far to start off this second half drive.
That's Zach Adamo in on the tackle. Bulldogs down a couple defensive linemen today. And Adamo with a nice play. Third down and long. Peters will throw. Pressure comes. Adamo with the pressure off the edge and flipped into the middle of the field. And we've seen that a time or two today. That's Wagner on the receiving end.
Yeah, and that's the only flaw to running zone is, especially when you have enough time as a quarterback, eventually you'll be able to pick off where the openings in that zone are, and they found it right there in the middle on the Drake D.
Patrick Wagner, 3 touchdown catches this season. And when we were talking to Coach Caruso earlier this week, he was saying that Andy Peters has really opened up what our tight ends can do. And we saw that on that last play, third down and long, to pick up that conversion. Jayshawn Todd again on the reception out wide.
Man, both of these teams have done a fantastic job with tackling in the open field, because that's one of the toughest things to do on defense, because especially with the smaller guys, they got a lot of wiggle to them, and so it's a little bit harder to get them down, but they've been doing a great job being able to get them down off of first contact.
Peters wants to go under center here. Will move his tight end Luke Schuler. Play action again. Pressure, but time to throw, and this pass is knocked in the air and incomplete. 4 Bulldogs surrounding the intended receiver.
And I would say that's the first bad decision I've seen him make today, to throw into coverage with 3 DBs. That's a very dangerous throw. If that ball would have stayed in the air just a second longer, it would have been going the other way.
There's a look at Tyson Schilling, who turned from wide receiver to defender on that play. And it's another third down. St. Thomas 4 of 8 on the afternoon. Pressure comes and comes up the middle. It's J.R. Flood.
Man, oh man. He just went in there scot-free. It's like nobody touched him. They said, come on in. And that's exactly what he did. He stepped in there and got himself a sack for the day.
Flood with the big fist pump. 2.5 sacks on the season, and Flood and Allison been running mates all season. That 1-2 punch at linebacker. And Flood forces the punt for St. Thomas. Hitter's punt is low and bounces to Isaiah Bragg, and Bragg is hit at the 25-yard line. That's where he will go down. There is a flag on the near sideline.
That's around the space where they'll call a holding. Oh.
It's their first of the half. First down.
It is a sideline warning on Drake. So that's the white hat Gregory Kumpf issuing that warning.
Yeah, and that's something that'll make a coach mad right there. That's a discipline thing. Stay on the other side of that white line. Usually there's a couple of guys on the sideline corralling everybody back, so that doesn't happen.
All right, so in a game where possessions have been huge so far, Drake gets a stop, and here's Nick Herman. Herman with speed, he spins past the first down marker. St. Thomas has done a good job bottling up Herman to this point, but had some space on that carry.
Yeah, and, man, just a good read there. He saw that the tight end picked up that defensive end, and so now that gave his running back the opportunity to come down on that dive and get a first down.
They give it right back to Herman.
I believe that the running game is opening well for these running backs just because of how well Inagawa has done running the ball.
Charlie Boucher in on the tackle for St. Thomas. Boucher with his 7th tackle of the afternoon. He's been an impact player in this game. 2nd down and 7. Here's a handoff to Jaden Meisinger, bounces off the first tackler and keeps his feet churning to get the ball back to the 40-yard line, the line of scrimmage.
And for these running backs, that is one thing that I've noticed for Drake's running backs. They typically don't go down off of that first contact that they get, and they just continue to drive the legs as much as they can. And that's what you want to see out of your running back. Somebody who has vision, who continues to move even when the pile has got a little bit clogged up.
So here's another 3rd down, and good news for the Drake Bulldogs. On the bottom of your screen, Jackson Voth is back in the game. He left early in this game with an injury. And now looking for Voth is Inagawa, and it is intercepted. Picked off by Ryan Calcagno, and he's going to return it. A nice return by Calcagno. That's his 2nd INT of the season, and that is the first turnover of this afternoon.
Man, he's back there at safety, but you would have thought he was at wide receiver the way he went out there and tracked that ball on that deep pass. Again, play a little bit of play action, little double move. Quarterback just he shouldn't have thrown that one. Double coverage. The safety did a great job coming across the field and be able to get under that football to make the interception.
And the senior from St. Charles, Illinois, comes up with a big INT, covering Jackson Voth. So what can Andy Peters and this offense do in return? Gabe Abel on the carry, left side. And a short pickup for Abel on 1st down.
And with Coach Caruso's offense, you can see there's always a lot of moving parts. As a defense, you have to be very cognizant, make sure that you watch your film throughout the week to be able just to prepare for these different looks that they're giving them. They might line up in a bunch formation like they are now and then possibly shift into a 2-1. And so you just got to be heads up and be able to know what it is that you're doing.
Peters will keep it himself off the left side. Another good, strong tackle. That's Shaq Sanjuri. Shaq Sanjuri, the Jacksonville, Florida native, has really come on this season, replacing Cullen Shrimp, who was injured in the first half of the first game. The senior captain goes down with an early injury, and Shaq has really stepped up.
Yeah, and I wonder how he's doing being out from Jacksonville. I'm from Florida myself, and I know I can't deal with the cold, so he's doing pretty good out there for somebody who's not used to this kind of weather.
Blitz off the edge, and it is nearly intercepted and dropped by Kamani Wilson. Tommy Williams with the corner blitz, and he'll be thinking about this one in his dreams.
Yeah, man, both players made great plays, forced the throw, came up, got in the way of the receiver. All you got to do is come down with it. You could have been celebrating in the end zone right now.
That's those corner back hands. That's what it is right there.
Yeah, maybe if he was a safety, he might have caught it.
Elliott Hitter on to punt for the 2nd time in this half. A nice spiraling kick sends Bragg back, and Bragg has nowhere to go. Great coverage out of St. Thomas. Peyton Himley, him on the tackle. All right, 10-all. Score remains the same as it was at half. We'll be back to Drake Stadium. You're watching the PFL on ESPN. Snow continues to fall here in Des Moines. Score still square at 10 apiece. Last time Logan Inagawa was out there, he threw his first incompletion, but it didn't hit the ground. It was an INT.
Yeah. So just got to make better decisions on this drive, and they've done it already, giving the ball to the running back and allowing him to use those legs of his.
Yeah, Herman on 1st down has been pretty effective. Another nice gain by the freshman from Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, and they have definitely established this run throughout the game, not just the running backs but the quarterback as well. And they've made great decisions, the quarterback has, on whether to be able to keep it or pull it.
Second down and short. Got a little extra breathing room for the Bulldogs, and Herman moves the chains again, keeping those feet churning. Such good balance. We've seen a couple times this year where the first tackler can't keep him down and keeps his body low to the ground.
Yeah, and the running backs coach, he has definitely been on that for his team when it comes to being able to have that balance and just the different kind of techniques that they've been using throughout practice just to work on those type of things.
Inagawa to throw, and pressure comes immediately off the edge. Jordan Pendleton. Another big tackle by Pendleton.
Man, great pay call. Rushes on each side of the ball. No matter which way he went, he would have got snuffed out. And they're playing fantastic football right now on defense, both Drake and St. Thomas.
Yeah, Pendleton, the first one there. Brandon Smith cleans it up. That pushes the Bulldogs way back. Second down and 17. Inagawa, the lone back, and he will keep it himself. And he drags a defender for a couple extra yards, but it'll be third down. And in this position, third down and long, tough field position. See just how risky in the third quarter that Coach Woodley and company are.
Yeah, and we talked about it in the first half. That botched field goal attempt can definitely come back to haunt them here in such a close game. Both teams have been very evenly matched, and so far in this second half, both defenses have stepped up and have been getting stops.
Luke Woodson, the running back. Here's Inagawa. They set up a screen to Taj Hughes. Hughes has a nice pickup, but had a long way to go. And some additional extracurriculars on that far side. Taj Hughes going into the sideline, and it'll bring up a fourth down.
Yeah, let's take a look at this this late hit that the crowd is getting uproaring about. Man, just running across, being able to get out of bounds. But after he steps out of bounds, then I think there was a little bit more of a takedown after that. So he's got to be a little bit more smarter than that. Luckily, it wasn't called by the referees.
Ryan Schrader back to punt for the Bulldogs. First punt of the second half. And the lefty has a tough one. A short punt. And St. Thomas will have great field position. They'll be marked at the 45-yard line. Deadlock at 10 apiece in this snowy Saturday in Des Moines. Both teams with a couple possessions in this second half, no points out of the halftime locker room, and a little pass and catch to Quentin Cobb Butler.
And it looked like there was a little bit of a fumble there at the end of that play.
Fifth catch of the afternoon by Cobb Butler. Injured last season, has come on massive for this Tommy's offense this season. Good carry, pushing forward, Pat Bowen Jr. right at the marker. It'll be third down and inches. Well, both offenses really executed perfectly in the first half, and now the defenses have made their adjustments. Here's a quick huddle and push forward, and it's Peters on the QB sneak.
Let's see where they mark it.
As it has been well talked about, it is impossible to officiate the tush push, the Tommy's tush push. And they're going to give them a first down.
Yeah, I like the way they got set up for that one. Allowed the center to go out there and get ready, and then everybody else rush up to the ball. You only need a second for everybody to get set, and then you can snap the ball. And so that threw off the timing for the Drake football team and allowed that first down to happen.
All spotted just inside the 35-yard line. Peters shifts Schuler, and it's a quick hitter to Jayshon Todd. It's a nice gain for Todd.
Great play call. That safety has to be able to come down. They looked like they were in a bit of a cover 3 look. And that safety that's coming down to be in the box, he has to come down just a little bit faster so he can help out on that screen pass.
Another short yardage situation for St. Thomas. Peters will throw with downs to mess with. And they have Paulson open along the sideline, and it is knocked away late and incomplete. And here comes a flag from the line judge.
And he's looking around trying to figure out what's going on. But the thing about it is, you have, as a DB, you have to be able to turn your head around and find the ball.
15 yards from the previous spot. First down, St. Thomas.
That's on Mangialardi, and in the college game, it's only 15 yards. If Mangialardi doesn't make this play, you might be looking at a St. Thomas touchdown.
Yeah, and the quarterback threw it a little short. That allowed the receiver to come back for the ball. And because he was in catch-up mode, he didn't get a chance to turn around and look for the ball, which gave them PI and an extra first down.
Yeah, so really it's just a difference of a couple yards from where he would have caught it and where the ball's spotted here just outside the 10-yard line. Bowen Jr., the running back, behind Peters. Peters will throw it again, and he looks right for one of his tight ends. It's Wagner, and Wagner at 6'4", 248 pounds, slams his way inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and after talking with Coach Caruso, that's one thing that he definitely harped on, is the fact that his quarterbacks allow the tight ends to be more active in this offense. And especially when you got a big guy like him, you want to be able to get him the ball, especially in this short yardage situation. It's a bigger body, and it's tougher to get him down, which gives you a better chance of getting into that end zone.
That's a fourth catch by Wagner. Second down and goal inside the 5. And movement up front. The Bulldogs shift, and A.J. Borman, the tight end, also moved.
Delay game. Defense, number 55, simulating the snap. That penalty will be enforced half the distance to the goal. Second down.
Yeah, you don't see that that call very often. Yeah, again, you can move, you can talk with your team, but what you can't do is try to throw off the offense by throwing out extra noises and things like that, trying to simulate the play call.
A whistle against the freshman Owen Pins. Second down and short, and there's Gabe Abel into the end zone for the touchdown.
Yeah, and on this one, they just played a little bit of bully ball, seeing which guy wants it more, and it looked like St. Thomas wanted it more on this one and was able to get in, giving them the lead now.
So the first score of the second half is St. Thomas punching it in from 1 yard out. The extra point is good, and the Tommies lead late third quarter, 17-10. St. Thomas started with good field position. Gabe Abel punches it in, 6 plays, 45 yards. The Tommies up 17-10. The first 2 penalties of this afternoon called against Drake on that previous drive. So a couple mistakes out of the Bulldogs called by the referees, and Drake down 7 with 45 seconds to play in this third quarter. Kick is end over end, will be returned by Isaiah Bragg from the 6-yard line. Bragg starts left, cuts back into the middle. Another good return by this Drake return team up to the 29-yard line. So the snow continues to pour down. Started with a cold and rainy day, and we're going to end up with a snow globe here in the second half.
And this was a good return. Just being able to watch and find a hole and get as many yards as possible, give you guys the extra 3 yards to work with here on this drive.
Nick Herman on the carry off the left side. Ahmed Muhammad slams him down after a short gain.
Yeah, in this St. Thomas defense, man, they have been looking fantastic in this second half so far. They haven't, I don't even think, let Drake get past the 40-yard line, the opposite 40-yard line, and they have just been executing, stepping up, making plays, staying on these wide receivers, because these wide receivers are fantastic so far. They've been running really good routes, but the DBs have been doing an even better job staying on them.
Yep, this is going to take us to the fourth quarter. St. Thomas in front of Drake, 17-10. You're watching the Pioneer Football League on ESPN. When it's snowing in early November, you just got to own it. And both teams playing good football, enjoying the scene here in Des Moines, a one-score game between two of the best in non-scholarship football. It's second down to begin the fourth quarter. A handoff to Taj Hughes on the end around. He cuts up, has a first down across the 40-yard line.
Whew, Hughes, man. That speed on that end around, man, it was amazing. Just check it out. Being able to go, thought he had a hole, but the DB was able to make him stretch it out a little bit longer, but he had enough speed to be able to get around that and still get upfield to get a first down.
Yeah, doesn't need snowshoes when he got pink shoes.
Right.
Get you moving like that.
My nephew, he played football himself, and he wears some bright orange ones so everybody can see where he's at on the field.
Makes you feel a little faster, especially in this kind of weather. Hank Foley in motion. Inagawa play action. Trying to get away from pressure, and he throws it up in the air, no one around, and there's a flag down in the middle of the field.
I'm going to say it's defensive holding.
Holding, defense number 6, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, automatic first down.
Obedo, the guilty party. And just 3 total penalties in this football game, and all 3 have come in the last 2 drives.
Yeah, both teams have played very clean football today. Besides just a couple of bad throws, it's been a very clean football from running to blocking to coverage. Everybody has played very disciplined football today so far.
Drake back into St. Thomas territory. Nick Herman on the carry. And it's a yard. See who peels up from underneath that pile. You got Ticky and Boucher in there.
Yeah, these teams are just playing some hard-nosed football right now. It's cold, it's snowing, and they aren't letting up not one bit. And I love to see it.
Second and long for Inagawa. He'll keep it himself. Off the left side, Inagawa bounces out, has a first down, and moves the chains. Inagawa with his 13th carry of the afternoon.
And it looks like they're ready to go hurry up. They got the momentum going, so they're trying to hurry up and get this ball running to keep the defense on their toes a little bit.
Here's Herman. It's a flea flicker, and it goes through the hands of Inagawa. He's able to get away from a couple guys, gets rid of the football, and throws it out of bounds. Let's see if it got back to the line of scrimmage.
I believe it did, but it's like the refs are conferring right now.
That's interesting. Is it one thing here that I'm unsure of? Is it in the air? And no, it's not. And here comes the flag.
Intentional grounding, offense number 3. He cannot legally ground the ball after relinquishing the snap. Lost it down, second down.
Now, that's a great explanation there by Gregory Gumpf. After the flea flicker, you cannot ground the football. So that puts Drake in a really tough position. They are pushed all the way back to their own 45-yard line and have to get to the 27 for a first down. It's 2nd and 28.
Yeah, and they've been struggling to get first downs here on this in this second half.
Woodson on the carry. He's going to get a big chunk of that back.
And so it looks like they already got at least half of that back after that long run right there. And again, they're just opening the holes for these running backs, giving them plenty of opportunity to run around. They're making it to the second level without even getting touched. And for an offensive coordinator, that's how you want them to execute that run every time.
Gain of 15 on that 2nd down and 28. 3rd down and long. Let's see what type of pressure St. Thomas decides to use here. Play clock at 7. Here comes pressure. Inagawa steps up, gets rid of a couple defenders, flips it out to Hughes, and Hughes has the catch up the sideline, tiptoeing still, and he has the first down. What a play by Inagawa to just get that off.
Man, hey, and Inagawa was back there just running for his life. You can see the safety blitzing, just breaking off the tackles and able to find his man out there in the flats, and he just allowed him to do the rest from there and able to get that first down.
Taj Hughes has been in these moments all senior season, stepping up in these moments, and from 2nd down and 28 to moving the chains. Here's Woodson on the carry, sidesteps the first tackler. Sliding through there was Cody Stordahl.
Yeah, and for the fans who are watching, I don't know if you can see the field, but you see it's starting to turn a little white out here. That snow's starting to come down heavier and heavier.
I mean, we knew it was going to be a mix of rain and snow, but I did not anticipate an accumulation like this. This is as good as it gets. 2nd down and 8. Inagawa will throw it, and it'll flip it out to Hughes, and Hughes is met and spun down on the far side. Javi Blomquist with the tackle.
And that was a good play design, but the guys that he was looking for, it just wasn't there. It was a levels concept there, one high, one mid, one low, and his mid guy was open for half a second there, and he had to go off of that read and move it down to his receiver out in the flats.
So still more than 10 minutes to play in this football game. Another 3rd down and long for Drake. They just converted on 3rd and 13. It's 3rd and 12. Inagawa sprinting to his right. He will throw it again to the right side, and it's knocked away late, intended for Hank Foley, and it is 4th down. So in these elements, in this spot on the field, it will be Harry Balke trotting out.
Yeah, and man, that was such a close catch, but good job by the DB not giving up on that play and just being able to come down and knock it out at the last second.
Logan Cassidy, the Truro, Iowa native from just down I-35, a former Roadrunner in coverage.
I've been out here for a while in Iowa. I didn't know y'all had a city named that.
There you go. 41-yard field goal by Harry Balke has the distance, and it is good. Through the snowflakes and the uprights, and Harry Balke has his second made field goal of this afternoon, 17-13. Bulldogs kind of lucky to come away with points there. Great to have a clutch kicker like that.
Yeah, and you touched on it. We haven't seen much penalties throughout this game until this last about 10 minutes, and so they've been playing some pretty good football, but those penalties definitely helped them out at the end of that drive.
All right, so here we are, 17-13. St. Thomas about to get the ball back. They have it was 10-all at halftime. St. Thomas scored at the end of the third quarter. Scored a 1-yard Gabe Abel touchdown. And then Drake able to answer facing 3rd and 13. It was also 2nd down and 28. They were able to get the first down and get into field goal range and answer.
And if I couldn't give any other word for this Drake football team, the one I would give them is resilient, because that's what they've been throughout this entire game. No matter what things are going on, they have found a way to bounce back.
Eli Paulson on the return, and a good return by Paulson. St. Thomas and the special teams have given their team good field position.
Man, that was great blocking there by the field goal unit, by the kick return unit, just giving him a lane to be able to pass through. Everybody have a hat on a hat, a man on a man, and that was a good return.
All right, so you wonder here, too, with how the possessions have been playing out in this game, just how many more opportunities each team will have. Peters hands to Abel, bounces it out. Abel makes a cut. Oh, a game-saving, touchdown-saving tackle by Garrison Cotty. Abel with a nice move, but that had 6 written all over it.
Man, what a nice move right there in the hole. Be able to bounce it out, see a guy put his foot down, break another tackle, and just get upfield.
Right back to Abel, and tackled in the backfield by Jack Ward.
Yeah, and Abel, he may not be the biggest guy out there, but he's not scared to run north and south and go straight through that hole.
If Drake is to come back and win this game, you circle that play by Garrison Cotty. A diving shoelace tackle on Gabe Abel. 2nd down and long. Peters will step up and take off. Peters slides late. And some contact late around there, and Peters is able to pop back up. It'll be 3rd down.
I think Peters tried to get a little bit of an Oscar on that last one, laying on the ground for it.
There was a later hit, and but that slide comes so late. You never know which way that gets called. They have.
Yeah, that's a tough one for a defender coming in. You coming in full speed, mindset already on. I'm about to hit you, and then they just go down. So I believe that was a good no call on that last play.
Crowd getting into it here at Drake Stadium on this 3rd down and 2. Peters will keep again, and he has the first down. The Boise, Idaho native, standing at 6'3", 220 pounds, pushes his way for a first down, and that moves the chains.
Man, and a good play design, a little bit of a QB lead on that one. Allow the running back to get up and start to get your block set up so you can run in right behind him.
Ball inside the 40. Here's Abel again, and Abel is cut down. J.R. Flood on the tackle for Drake. But this has already turned into a positive possession for St. Thomas, moving it into Drake territory and watching that clock wind down under 7.5 to play.
Yeah, and if Drake can get another 2 stops on this and force the field goal, they have a kicker that's very good. And so I believe they're in a good spot right now where they can possibly go and allow him to kick that ball if they don't get this first down.
Peters carries again. He has the corner, and he's dragged out of bounds around the 22-yard line. Another great carry by Peters. Sean Allison able to catch up to him late, but Peters showing off his ability to run the football.
I think Peters must have heard me up here. He said, hey, man, we're not worried about a field goal. We're trying to go get a touchdown. Let me get this first down first, though.
He has been putting this team on his shoulders. 43 rushing yards prior to that carry, 121 through the air. Here's Abel again bouncing it out. They've had some success bouncing it out there, and another big gainer right at the marker.
Yeah, and for the defense, you got to have somebody come up to be that force player to bounce it back to your help on the inside. And as of right now, the St. Thomas's offense is doing a great job with hook blocking those DNs or those linebackers, so the running backs or the quarterback can be able to bounce outside and get those additional yards.
Second and short. It'll be the handoff to Pat Bowen Jr. in there. Gabe Abel only played a few games this season, and as he returns back into the lineup, has a touchdown and was carrying most of the load on this drive, but it's Bowen to move the chains. Shaq Sanjori on the tackle for Drake.
Yeah, and both these teams have been very good when it comes to not outpacing themselves, slowing down when they need to, or speeding up the play calls when they need to do that as well. They've been a very balanced team so far.
Peters
in this game.
Stepping up and picks up a couple yards, and a whistle. I believe there's a flag somewhere in there. And they're pointing at Drake.
Mask, defense number 33. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
It is a face mask on Sean Allison, who is. We'll get another look at this here.
Yep, and it was a clear face mask there.
I don't think it was Sean Allison. It was actually Zach Adamo, number 37. But either way, it is a first down for St. Thomas, and we got the ball inside the 5 here. Abel, the running back. It goes to Abel, and Abel is short. The ball might be loose as we hear the call of ball, but it is second down. Looks like a St. Thomas player got back on. Abel peels up with the football.
And that would have been huge for Drake right there if they were able to come up with this possession. You can see him running there, and the ball just slips out, but he was able to get his hands back on it just in time.
It looked like it was out. So here's Peters, and Peters bobbles the snap. It gets it to Abel, but he's stopped. That's a short loss. It'll be third down and goal from the 3. So down here in this goal line, ball security becoming an issue, but they haven't surrendered it. See that snap, quarterback center exchange.
Yeah, and that definitely threw off the timing on that handoff to be able to allow him to be able to try to get into that end zone. But this Drake Bulldog team has definitely stepped up when they're in the red zone, and they are a hard team to score on.
Yeah, 17-13 with only 3:44 to play. Feels like this is the football game right here. Peters rolling to his right. Peters wanting to throw, looks back to his left, flips it to the back of the end zone, and it's out of bounds, incomplete. Benjamin Wilson in coverage. trying to squint through the snow. I think Quentin Cobb Butler was the intended receiver, and here comes St. Thomas on to kick this short field goal. But again, keep your eye out on anything a little tricky.
Yeah, because they're some tricksters. They like the movements. They like to keep you on your toes, and they've already scored once off of a fake field goal.
It will be Ben Hoyland, spotted at the 10-yard line, but from a tough angle. 20-yard attempt for Hoyland, and the kick is right down the middle. And so Hoyland adds 3, but Drake holds to keep it a one-possession football game with 3:26 to go here in a snowy Des Moines. St. Thomas uses 13 plays, goes 6 minutes and 43 seconds, and it ends with a 20-yard field goal. Drake held on a goal line stop to force the field goal, but it is St. Thomas in front, 22-13. Still a one-possession game as the ball heads back to Drake. Elliott Hitter has the football teed up. Isaiah Bragg will let it bounce, picks it up on a hop. Bragg sprints to his left, runs into his own man, and is tackled at the 18-yard line. Great coverage by St. Thomas, who has been good in special teams. I mean, Michael Admire along with Jeremy Gloston on the call here today. It's been a great scene with the snow and two teams battling not only for a chance to win the PFL, but for a chance to earn a spot into the FCS playoffs. 3:19 to go. It's a one-score game. What else can you ask for?
Man, as a fan, just that your team wins. But other than that, just watching the game, it's been great. We got a little bit of a false start here on this play.
Movement up front. The
false start, offense, number 77, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Drew Heiss whistled for the penalty, but the snap infraction will move the Bulldogs back behind the chains. And when you got to start this drive at 1st and 15 and pin back against your own end zone.
Yeah, I feel like they've been behind the chains a lot in the second half.
Taj Hughes on the end around. He gets outside and he has the first down and more. He's ushered out of bounds by Nick Hand, but that's a great play on 1st down and 15 for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, it is. Man, Hughes with the end around should have been tackled right there, but just had the strength and the speed to be able to break off that tackle and get a lot more for a first down. This drive is very crucial, so every play counts, and he made his right there.
Clock continues to roll, under 3 minutes to go. St. Thomas up by 7. They are 4-2 in the Pioneer Football League. And Presbyterian next week. Drake unbeaten, a flip to Hughes, who catches and shifts forward. Good gain on 1st down to the 36.
You know, that was a good play call right there. A little bit of misdirection. And just a little shuffle pass across that middle.
Inagawa to throw, pressure comes. He gets away from the first defender, flips it out to Herman. Herman has the speed, but a big-time tackle by Ryan Seaver. And so, I mean, this is what we've seen all game. When one team makes a big play, there's a quick answer, and Herman tackled by Seaver there.
Yeah, this has been a really good football team.
And that is going to take us to the 2-minute timeout. Drake down 7, but with the football and driving. We'll be back to Drake Stadium right after this. 2 minutes to play here in Des Moines. St. Thomas leads Drake by 7. It's been snowing for most of this football game. 1st down and 10 for Drake at their own 45-yard line. On the move, trying to tie this game up. Inagawa flips it to Hughes, who has been the main target on this drive. Gain of 4 on 1st down.
Yeah, you got to have more sense of urgency when you catch that ball. You only got a little bit of time left, so you got to catch it and get out of bounds as quickly as possible.
Both teams with all 3 timeouts. It goes to Taj Hughes again and is deflected at the line of scrimmage and knocked out of bounds. Luckily for the Bulldogs, the tip from Evan Tyler went out of bounds and not straight up.
Yeah, he was focused on getting down to the receiver, but if he would have looked up, he would have had himself a pick. I said tip drills used to be a favorite as a DB because you know you can catch that one.
So here it is, 3rd down and 6. Bulldogs trying to get lined up, and Hank Foley moves towards this near side. 2 on the play clock. Inagawa gets it off in time. Inagawa out to Woodson, and it's incomplete. A lot of confusion on that 3rd down and 6, and St. Thomas forces a 4th down. So here is the football game.
Yeah, there was a lot of moving parts there. People confused. He just tried to get the ball off as quickly as possible before the pressure got there. But he did have a man on the opposite side of the field in the flats that he should have got the ball out to.
We'll see which of these great coaches, what they decide to do here on this 4th down and 6. How much pressure from St. Thomas? How will Drake respond? We'll see it right here. Inagawa pressured. He flips it up, looking for a man along the sideline, and is broken up. Incomplete. Rod Finley. And oh no, check that. Joseph Obeto. We got a clip through the snow, and it's Obeto on the play.
Man, and just great defense. Staying right there on the hip pocket, playing through the receiver's hands when he shoots them up, and just not giving up on that play.
And so Drake turns it over on downs. Bulldogs have all 3 timeouts with 90 seconds to play. So there's still a chance that the Bulldogs get the football back, but down by 7.
Yeah, and expect them to stay on the ground. They would like to get a 1st down so they can finally get that clock running and allow them to use up all their timeouts. But there should be no reason to throw the ball on this drive.
Here is Peters handing to Gabe Abel, and Abel is tackled by Garrison Cotty. It's a loss, and a quick timeout by head coach Joe Woodley. It's interesting as you look around the scores in the Pioneer Football League today, a lot of close games, including a one down in North Carolina with Davidson in front of Presbyterian. So that sets up the situation for St. Thomas. If this score holds, Presbyterian will then go to Minneapolis next week, and St. Thomas could beat another team that's in front of them in the standings, and you could be looking at a 3-way tie for first place when all is said and done at the end of this season. But Drake, still with 2 games to go, this will only be their first loss in PFL play.
Yeah, and
So a lot to keep an eye on here, a lot to happen. Still a chance here with it being 2nd down. Peters looking to his right and has a yard or 2 and a quick timeout.
and they're doing a good job just running the ball, staying inbounds, and allowing them to either make that clock run or use up all their timeouts. There have been too many times where players will catch the ball and run out of bounds. And then you just giving the offense, the defense and the offense for the opposite team another opportunity to get the ball with some time on the board. So you got to be a headsy football player to understand time, situations, and know what to do in those situations.
A 1st down, by all intents and purposes, ends this game for St. Thomas, who have come in here and played a well-balanced football game led by their quarterback, Andy Peters. 121 yards through the air, 66 on the ground for Peters. Here is third down. Peters brings Todd in motion. It goes to Todd. Todd cuts up, and he's across the 45-yard line, but it is a timeout by the Bulldogs, and it'll be 4th down and 5. So Drake will get a chance to get the football back here. We've seen throughout the season Andy Peters can, pooch punt this football. Might be something that St. Thomas decides to do. Maybe look at how Drake lines up, and then Peters can pin the Bulldogs back. You get the football back with a minute and some change, but no timeouts.
Yeah, and how you described doing the pooch kick will probably be their best bet, if not just going ahead and punting altogether, because it's 4th down. Your defense has been playing lights out. There's no need for you to try to go for it on this down, and it looks like they're bringing out their punt unit. Even if the ball goes into the end zone, they get the ball at the 20. That's 80 yards they have to go with no timeouts left in this game.
No doubt about it. It'll be Elliott Hitter to punt. You can bet Drake's going to come after it here. Hitter's punt, line drive, and it bounces, and it will roll inside the 10-yard line, and there is 1:02 on the clock, and the Bulldogs will have to go and marked at the 9-yard line, so they'll have to go 91 yards if they want to keep their unbeaten PFL season intact.
And they definitely have the tools to be able to get the job done. They got great receivers, great running backs, and then they have an outstanding quarterback who is very accurate with the ball, and he can get it there. Deep ball, short ball, long throw, across the middle, to the outside, he can do it. So I want to see what the coaches have planned.
Inagawa, straight drop back. He'll step up, flips it to Woodson. Woodson catches, has the first down. The clock will stop. The ball spotted at the 23-yard line. Over the last couple seasons, Bulldogs have won 23 of the last 24 Pioneer Football League games, and they have had some magical victories late in games. Here's Inagawa, long throw to Foley, who catches, but he is short of the first down marker. The clock's going to continue to roll. A long throw and still a long way to go for the Bulldogs. Now on the 33-yard line. Here's Inagawa again, firing, and it's dropped. Nearly intercepted by Nick Hand. That does stop the clock with 36 seconds to play.
Yeah, and I'm surprised they haven't tried to take a shot downfield. They can do a post corner here towards the outside. You can either hit the post depending on if they're in what coverage they're in. But I believe that corner route would be open here in this cover 2 look.
Inagawa with time, and it's again batted down by Nick Hand. That brings up 4th down.
Yeah, Nick Hand just steady getting his hands on the ball.
So now the mentality shifts a little bit here for Drake. To keep this game alive, you need to get 1 yard.
Yeah, and so do you run it and just go ahead and get the first down, or do you try a pass again?
Here's Inagawa. Steps up, rolls to his right, and throws it deep downfield, and it is knocked away at the last second. It falls incomplete, and St. Thomas is going to win this football game. What a performance this afternoon on the road in the snow, and really a must-have win for St. Thomas and head coach Glenn Caruso.
Yeah, and for St. Thomas, they have been outscoring defenses, especially outscoring other teams, especially in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, they've outscored teams about 86-25, and you can see here right now why that is. The defense stepped up tremendously. The offense made sure that they were smart with the ball, no turnovers, and they had a good game today.
And the clock rolls here, and the Bulldogs are going to fall to 5-1 on the season. And after an 0-2 start in Pioneer Football League play, St. Thomas has won 5 consecutive league games, and they have put themselves right back in position to win this Pioneer Football League championship. But as the standings stand now, Drake's still in first place at the top of the PFL. But gosh, what a football game all the way around, and a great scene here today in Des Moines.
Yeah, it was great. It was great to watch. Both teams came out here and gave it their all, and St. Thomas just had just enough to be able to come out with a win, 20-13.
The difference was a Gabe Abel scoring touchdown in the final seconds of the third quarter. You look at Andy Peters there. He has been a huge addition for the St. Thomas team. It started a little rainy and cool. The snow moved in. The football was great for 60 minutes here in Des Moines. Your final score, St. Thomas 20, Drake 13. For all of our production staff here at Drake University, including David Shields and Tara Pippett, I'm Michael Admire along with Jeremy Gloston. Have a great Saturday afternoon. You've been watching the Pioneer Football League on ESPN.